What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris Evans here with Zero Meter Chasers live on this Saturday evening. I wanted to give a quick update here. This will not be a long video here, but I did want to cover some radar and what to expect as many are seeing those widespread showers and storms as we talked about earlier today. Here's a look at the Kentucky Mesonet website. As always, just want to make sure my audio is working correctly. So if you guys could put a comment in the chat saying the audio is working fine, I would greatly appreciate it. Or just give a thumbs up in the chat to let me know that the audio is working correctly here. But here is a look at a thunderstorm in Logan County. So this is on the Kentucky Mesonet website. If you look down here on the bottom right, you can see here's the radar. And you can see that complex of storms. We'll look at it a little bit better here on the Weatherfront website here in a second. But you can see here on the bottom right, these repeated rounds of showers and storms that have developed here into southern and western Kentucky. And again, looking at the Logan County, you can see those ominous skies here. And we do, if I flip it over here to the Weatherfront website, we do have a flash flood warning here for those repeated rounds of showers and storms in Smiths Grove, in Glasgow, and just northeast of Bowling Green. And it would not surprise me if we would see a couple more flash flood warnings further east near Somerset. And then we'll just have to watch and see how this complex of storms kind of tracks here. But again, just looking down here, you can see we do have a lot of storms that have kind of congealed here within the last 15 to 20 minutes along an outflow boundary, with the strongest storm being just north of Tompkinsville here. And it did have some small hail. And we've had hit some reports of some hail here. One second. I just had a comment that said the audio. I know you guys said the audio was working in the chat when I started it. Let me know if the audio is still working right now. I believe that it is, but something just popped up in my browser saying the audio was having some issues. So I just want to make sure the audio is working and that you guys can hear me. I apologize for that. But I will keep going here. I'm just going to take a look at radar, and then we'll look at the model data to kind of see what to expect as we get into the rest of the night. And I do still think that my audio is working good. So here we go. This is down here in southern Kentucky. We have those showers and storms. If I zoom out, that is not the only complex of storms that we have here in Kentucky. We have another complex of storms here near Evansville and Owensboro. And then if I zoom out even more, you'll see some more showers and storms here along the I-75 corridor. If I take this back about an hour and we put it in play here, you'll see everything is kind of moving off to the east. So we'll continue to see these rounds of showers and storms. That low pressure is actually still all the way up here near Mount Vernon in St. Louis. So that pesky low pressure that we've had for the last couple of days is going to stay here throughout the rest of the night. And that's what's going to continue to see those rounds of showers and storms. And I am a little bit worried, especially down here in southern Kentucky. I think we highlighted it well early this morning, but really from a corridor from Bowling Green to Somerset, I think we'll really continue to see numerous rounds of showers and storms as we get into the evening and overnight hours. And I am a little bit worried about the flash flooding risk here in southern Kentucky. If we look, this is the storm accumulation. Well, actually, let's just go from the 3-hour accumulation from this storm, and you'll see we're already exceeding 1 inch of rainfall here. So these storms are very sufficient rainfall makers. We have over 2 inches of rain south of Glasgow. And if you look north of Bowling Green, we also have 2 inches of rain. So as these storms kind of congeal into a line, they're going to continue to be impressive rainfall makers as we get into the evening and the overnight hours. So what I wanted to do now was kind of look at some model data, what to expect here statewide in Kentucky as we move through our Saturday. As always, if you guys have any questions, you can be sure to put those in the chat. I'll look at the chat when I get done showing the HRRR here, and I'll cover any questions that we have. So here's what the HRRR is showing for 9 o'clock. It's doing a really good job showing us two different complexes of storms here. The first complex in southern Kentucky, and then that second complex here just south of Evansville. If I fast forward this a couple of hours, you can see why I'm a little bit concerned about the flash flooding risk, especially down here in southern Kentucky near Bowling Green and Somerset, because it does look like another round of showers and storms are going to push through in the next couple of hours. And that could exaggerate the flash flooding threat in the next couple of hours down here. So I definitely want to make sure if you're in the Bowling Green, I know we have a lot of followers in the Bowling Green area, just stay weather aware if you have anywhere to be on your Saturday, because I do think some isolated, or maybe even a little bit more than isolated, some flash flooding is going to be increasing as we get into the evening and overnight hours here. The interesting thing on the HRRR, if we get to 1 a.m., you'll see it kind of sparks a band of storms here near the E-Town area along the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways here. And if that were to happen, these again, overnight, they're going to cold pull, meaning they're going to have heavy rainfall on the back side of them. And that again could lead to more of an elevated flash flooding threat along the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways as we get into the overnight hours. So we'll have to see how this kind of tracks as we get into our midnight or 1 a.m. But the fact that our low pressure is still up here in Illinois, I do think that we will have repeated rounds of showers and storms, especially along and south of the Western Kentucky Parkways as we get into the evening and overnight hours. If I fast forward this a couple more hours here, you'll see it's kind of pinpointing along the Western Kentucky Bluegrass Parkways for the highest rain totals as we get into the overnight. We'll have to see how that kind of sets up. Model data doesn't handle this perfectly, so I think if you're anywhere from E-Town to Bowling Green to Somerset to Lexington, along the Western Kentucky Parkways and south, you do have an elevated flash flooding risk as we get into the evening and overnight hours. And if we get to our Saturday morning, you'll see our low pressure now is going to be down here in Southern Kentucky. It's finally going to try and push through the state. But because of that, we'll kind of have to now, instead of turning our attention up here to Illinois, we'll have to turn it near to our east. Because everything's going to kind of be rotating around this pressure. So we'll have some more slow-moving storms, unfortunately, as we get into our Sunday. The severe risk is nearly zero with these. I'm just worried about the exaggerated flash flooding risk that we could have as we get into our Sunday. So what I wanted to do real quick was I'm going to stop this about 4 a.m. Well, we'll go to about 6 a.m. on Sunday and look at how much rain the HRRR is suggesting could fall. And this is rainfall still to come. And again, we already had 2 inches of rain from that one storm in Bowling Green. And we know that model data likes to underdo the rainfall amounts here sometimes. So I would say anywhere along and south of the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways are most at risk for widespread 1 to 3 inches as we get into the evening and overnight hours. And you could definitely have these pockets. Like, again, you can see how some places are getting skipped. But if we look here, it's showing nearly 6 inches of rain in some areas. So I definitely think there could be some localized significant flash flooding depending on where these storms kind of track and where they set up in the next couple of hours. So that's what I have for you guys. Repeated rounds of showers and storms as we get into the evening and overnight hours. The greatest concentration of storms to me appears to be along and south of the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkways, basically on a line from Lexington to E-Town to Hopkinsville to Bowling Green to Somerset. This is where I think storms are really going to train, and we already have that flash flood warning down here in Bowling Green, so really worried about down here in Southern Kentucky as we'll continue to get those rounds of showers and storms to push in here through the evening and overnight hours. So we'll have more rain on Sunday. I don't think it's going to be as widespread. Luckily, today wasn't actually as widespread. A lot of people have kind of skipped out on the rainfall. Some people have gotten a lot. Some people have got nothing. So I think Sunday kind of looks like the same, but a little bit less because that low pressure is finally going to get a little bit south of us. And when we get to Monday, it looks like we'll finally get rid of this low pressure, but it might try to return as we get into the middle of the week. I don't want to cover any of that in this video, but I will have a live video update probably on that tomorrow as we kind of get this low pressure out of here and we kind of look at what's to come for next week. So that's all I got for you guys. I will open the floor here for some questions, and I'll pull up radar real quick so we can look at the current radar while I give you guys some time to ask any questions. So again, I think flash flooding is the biggest concern. We might have an isolated severe storm within the next couple of hours, but just the way that radar looks to me right now, this looks like a flash flooding threat, especially down here from Bowling Green to Glasgow to Somerset, because everything will kind of start trending from west to east in the next hour or so, and this is already a lot of rain down here. So, not liking the trends for Southern Kentucky, but hoping along the Western Kentucky parkways, we'll just have to see here in the E-Town area. Really, we'll have to see how this complex tracks here near Evansville, because this kind of the data is trying to have everything move from west to east. But if you look at the motion right now, these storms are moving kind of southeast. So if when they start that eastward motion, when everything starts, that west to east motion is when we'll really start to see that flash flooding risk, because everything will start training over the same areas. So again, that is all I got. Let me see if we have any comments in the question. Does not look like we have any questions. Again, we have this flash flooding risk here from Bowling Green to Glasgow, where localized 1 to 3 inches have already fallen, and more rain is going to be expected as we get into the evening and overnight hours. So if you live in Bowling Green, you have any Saturday night plans, just make sure that you stay weather aware, stay away from the Fairview Plaza. I know that everybody in Bowling Green knows that, but somebody's going to fall victim to the Fairview Plaza tonight. And there's not a doubt in my mind I'll see a picture of that. So just make sure you stay weather aware. We'll have a couple more days of these pesky rounds of showers and storms until we kind of move it out and we look towards next week. So that's all I got for you guys today. Really appreciate everybody coming in here. I hope everybody has a blessed and safe Saturday night. Thank you, guys.